Great. Okay, guys, share in your chats that we're on. I'm so excited. Okay, we're recording. We're good. Okay, so I'm super excited, you guys. I know we have two teams on here. April and I are really just going to go back and forth. This was last minute. We wanted to put a training together for you guys just to help you get started. So we'll actually start. April, if you want to share your story, that would be so awesome. And we'll go. Actually, you know what? Before we start, let me give you an outline. Sorry, this is what I heard. This is my notes that I wrote down. Let me start with an outline. So you guys, tonight we're going to go over just a little bit of who we are. We're going to go over what is network marketing as an industry and a little bit about our company, our first goals and how you can get set up for your first promotion, and then basically what to be doing every day on social media to build your business. If you have any questions during this, you can throw them in the chats. As April and I go back and forth, we'll both keep an eye out on it. But let's just get started into it. So April, if you wanted to introduce yourself, that would be awesome.
Yes. Okay, for some reason I thought you were going to go first, and I always don't get nervous on Zooms, right? But I'll just jump in. So I'm April Jennings. I'm from Canada. When I joined, I lived on the island. My husband was in the military. Actually, I'll start there. So when I joined, my husband was in the military. He served 3 years in the Army, and then he served 4 years in the Navy. And he had just rejoined into the Navy and been posted 26 hours from home. So I didn't know anyone where I lived. So if you're like, I can't do this because I'm in a small town or I'm in a new town, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Between my story and Jackie's story, I feel like we are some of the leaders that built literally from the ground up. So you'll see yourselves in our story. So we were posted 26 hours away from home. I was not happy. I felt so far away. I was going through postpartum depression, so I wasn't making new mom friends. It was just, I just feel like it was a little bit of a disaster. I wouldn't have wanted to be friends with me back then. But you know what? In that time, because everything kind of fell apart, sometimes things have to fall apart to fall together, and everything fell apart. We were broke. We went from owning a beautiful home to having to rent it out because he was posted, to not feeling like we couldn't afford anything on the island, and everything was tight financially. We had our first child, and because of all that, I happened to notice when a girlfriend posted on Facebook that she was set for a $10,000 bonus. I had no idea that set for and earned weren't the same thing. I just saw that this girl I'd met one time through friends, so I knew she was real, and the friends I knew her through I really trusted. I just saw that this girl on Facebook was set for a $10,000 bonus, and because of where I was in my life, because I just knew, I said to Drew, and I saw that post on Facebook, I'm like, that would change our life right now. So I decided to just jump in. I didn't even know what we sold when I signed up. So again, if you don't really know a lot about the products, that doesn't matter. I literally couldn't have told you what we sold. I just knew that I was always interested in the business side of it, more so than the product side of it. But once I learned about the products, I've lost close to 30 pounds. Drew doesn't go to the supplement store anymore. Like, we truly believe in our products. But you know, it's okay to come in being interested in the business side of it. We have an amazing business plan right at our fingertips. So I jumped in, and again, you might relate to this. I started my business, and I wanted it all to happen right now. I wanted to just earn all those bonuses all those girls were talking about. I wanted all the distributors to sign with me. I just wanted it all right now. I was very impatient. I hadn't done any personal development at this point in my life, and I wasn't starting it. So, so then I started messaging people, and I started asking them to be my customers, and I started posting, and I was getting some customers. I got five customers, basically my whole warm market signed up right then, and that was my warm market. So then I started asking people to be a distributor, and no one said yes to me in the first couple of days, and that frustrated me so much that I actually quit. And I sat there for 4 months. So maybe you're on here and you're relaunching your business. That's great. That's amazing. You can do it. I didn't. So when I sat there for 4 months, and I called in, actually rewind. So when I decided to quit, I called in to cancel my distributor account, and but I was worried that if I canceled, they wouldn't give me my shopping spree. So I was like, fine, leave it open. And that was absolutely shocking, because if I had canceled my account, I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't have retired my husband from the military. I wouldn't have bought my dream home. I wouldn't have had all this personal growth. We would still only have one child instead of 3. So anyways, I sat there for 4 months, didn't cancel my account, but wouldn't touch it. I left all the groups. I wouldn't answer my upline. And in those 4 months, I did keep the 2 girls on Facebook. I was following 2 girls, the one I enrolled with and one I was placed with. And I was following these girls, and I saw them both go double diamond in 4 months. And double diamond averages $6,000 a month. And I knew a couple things about these girls. It was so powerful that I knew these things because I could relate to them. They were in new towns, just like me. They were busy. They weren't super outgoing. It was all from their phone. And I couldn't have any more excuses. Like every time I think of an excuse, I think, well, they have that same struggle and they're making $6,000 a month. And so after 4 months, oh, and 6,000 was more than my husband made. He made about 5. And I just thought, well, that would be pretty cool. So after 4 months of just sitting there, I had a really big, honest talk with myself. And I said, April, you could do this. The truth is you could do this. You're just not doing it. And it was real. It was raw. And I committed. And I believe that when you commit, you take off in your business. When you truly commit, you know the feeling of committing and giving it your all, capital ALL. You burn 90% of your fuel just to get your jet off the ground. And I was just committed and I was ready to go. I remember walking to my computer, messaging one of the girls I was placed with and saying, hey, I'm going to give this another shot. I might need some help. And from there on, I Googled everything and I just figured it out. And we're going to get into how we figured it out. And we have a lot more systems in place now. We have Zooms, we have live videos, we have team pages. You truly do have a lot of resources that I didn't have at my fingertips. And I'm happy for you because it means you can cut off a lot of time in our, compared to our story. But basically, I went through the ranks. I grew my friends list. I kept working my business. 70 days in, I went ruby, and then 4.5 months in, I went diamond, and I took my husband's account. He didn't work with business, but I signed him up, and he was very supportive. Took my husband's account diamond, and that's when we both went diamond. We made about $5,500 plus bonuses, weekly bonuses, 4.5 months in, and that's when Drew and I looked at each other and just said, like, he actually had tears in his eyes and was like, wow, this is real. I don't know how we got so lucky to find this business, this comp plan, these amazing people on our team, but this is real. We're going with it. And we just ran hard for a year and went both on presidential. So that's my story, but we'll get into the hows and everything after Jackie's story.
All right, guys, that was so awesome. Okay, so again, as you guys, if you have anything that's on your heart, questions, be super interactive in the chat, and we're going to go back and forth. And one thing I want to just note here that I wrote down that I think you're going to hear from both April and I, both of our stories, is you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Okay, so as you're building, give yourself that grace, because when I started, 3 years ago, again, it's like I just feel, again, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So a little bit of my story. I started 3 years ago, and before this business, we were struggling as well. My fiance, Mike, was working at the railway. He was an engineer for CN Rail. He was gone over 300 hours a month, and he had done that since we had started dating, and, he made good money, and I was working at TELUS, and I was serving at nights, and we were just living paycheck to paycheck. We were house broke. We had, just life, right? Like, I don't know, we were just living paycheck to paycheck. We had debt. We couldn't pay the minimum on our debt. It grew and grew and grew. We always seemed to have more month than money. And I actually watched somebody build this business for 3 years. And because on the outside, I felt like everything looked like we had it together, I almost convinced myself that I didn't need this opportunity, because I felt like it was just what we were supposed to do. Like, we did everything that society taught us to do. We got good jobs. We were still struggling. And I just thought that's what had to happen. And so I just wasn't open to the opportunity because I was so comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I watched a girl build this business for 3 years before I joined. She was a random person on Facebook. She messaged me one day. It caught my attention. I talked myself out of it. I would tell her I would sign up on Friday, and then I would ghost her. I'm pretty sure I unfriended her at one point. And so I want you to keep that in mind as you're building right now. Like, this person that could be saying no to you, it might be somebody that joins your business later. Like, I straight up told this person no for so long. But the thing that happens in this business is, when your situation changes, you want to be the person that, like, now what I think about when I joined, 3 years ago, or when I was on the verge of joining, it took my situation changing, um, to look at, the person that was consistent, meaning I had friends that were doing this business. I had, people that I knew in my life doing this business, but when my situation joined, I joined the person that had been, or changed. I joined the person that that I knew was serious, that I knew was consistent, and I watched for a long time. When I joined a week later, she actually quit. And so if you don't have an upline, or you're not in connection with your upline, I need you to know that there is no reason that you need an upline to be successful in this business. I know both of our team page have so many resources, but I came to a point where it was kind of like, okay, do I go right or do I go left? Do I quit or do I keep going? And what motivated me to keep going was my situation. And in this business, we call that our why. It's the reason why we're going to push through the hard times. It's the reason why we're going to push through the self-doubt. And at that time, my why was, my kids. That still is my why, but I was a new mom. I had just had a baby, and I did not want to leave, him, to go put him in the arms of somebody that didn't love him like I did. I didn't want to go back to work. It was enough to fuel my fire to just figure it out. And you guys, that's what I can honestly tell you why we've, had success early on in the business, is because I just said, I'm going to figure it out. I am going to keep going until I get to where I want to go. And, I think being ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice, and just being excited is going to move you forward. Taking that one step forward every day, being willing to learn. And that's all we did. And, my first month was slow. I think in this business, when we're on social media, you can see the highlight of everything, but I think it's important to know that, like, there was building and time and times where I felt like it wasn't working to build into the foundation of my business when I was new. So my first month, I was having a lot of conversations. I was doing the things. I felt like I was putting my, 100% every day forward, and I wasn't signing customers. People weren't interested. I got some negative feedback, people giving me their opinion, but it just came back to, like, nobody else was going to save me. Nobody else was going to save my family. Nobody cared about my dreams more than I did. And I just knew, like, if I gave up, if I listened to the people that told me I can't, I would be just in the same situation that I was in. And after I looked back at 3 years of me being skeptical and unsure, and my life still didn't change, I was still broke. I was still living paycheck to paycheck. I still couldn't afford to do, like, anything. I was like, I don't know. I mean, it's just like by the grace of God, honestly, because I'm normally a quitter at everything else I do. But I just knew to keep going. And in 3 months, I was able to make enough money from this business that allowed me to quit my serving job. So just that, $300 to $700 a month was so life-changing, and was capable. This business made that possible in the first couple months. 5 months in, we had replaced my income completely, and we were able to come home, quit my corporate job. And you guys, since then, to be honest, it's been a lot of highs. And I mean, with business, I wouldn't call them lows, but I would call them, like, just, times where I've had to grow, and times where I've had to overcome things I didn't think was possible. But what I will tell you, in the last 3 years, what I've learned is anything that's worth having is never going to come easy, and it is worth the push through. And I just know that this industry doesn't have any pre-qualifications for success, meaning that you can be any type of person. You can be from a big town, you can live in a small town, we have all types of people just finding massive success. And I think what it comes down to is, just like April said, being all in and deciding that you're going to do it. The disposition always comes before the position. You've got to be, willing to take your business serious before anybody else will. And I think as we go through these, steps and trainings, just keep that in mind. And before we go into the first topic, I want you guys to really take a second and write it down if you want. But figure out your why, figure out why you're here. And I encourage you to think about it, and you don't have to have your answer here. And I think everything that's going on right now, like, your why may have changed. I know a lot of people's has, and I want you guys to know that it's already in the bag for you. It's already yours. You can, like, Ambassador Diamond, if you want it, already has your name on it. It's just, are you willing to climb the mountain? And I think April and I, what we're going to tell you tonight, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And the best view comes from the hardest climb. So let's just get right into it. So the first thing we want to go over, just for if you're brand new, is what is network marketing. We'll talk a little bit about the industry and our company. April, if you want to start, I'll piggyback off you.
Sure. I'm sure whatever I don't cover You will, as far as your why goes, say it out loud. Make sure you say it out loud. And I was saying this at the last conference we were at. So there's a John Maxwell book. He talks about your words connect your emotions to your thoughts. So that's why you can think about something really sad that happened in your life. You can think about it over and over and not cry. And then you go and talk about it to somebody, you just start bawling. It's because your words truly attach your emotions to your thoughts. So think of your why, and then sit down with your partner, or sit down with your bestie, or sit down with your mom, or give them a call and say, I just want to tell you why I'm not going to quit my business, because the girls on the Zoom last night or tonight said I'm going to have moments, and I just want to talk it out with you and tell you why this is so important to me. And if it is your true why, not just something, sometimes we just want to say something flashy, like I want to go to Disney, which is awesome, but you know, your why really might be that you never want to worry about your hydro bill anymore. You are so sick of laying awake at night and worrying about that stuff. You know, like that's what's going to make you cry. That's what you write down. That's what you look at when you're thinking about quitting. Like, do you want to quit on that? You know, so make sure you say it out loud as well. About the industry, about network marketing in the industry, I love it. It's an amazing industry. If you listen to any savvy businessman, like the guy who wrote Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, he's not even in the industry. And he says, if you want to make good money and you don't have a huge capital, like hundreds of thousands of dollars to lay down to buy a franchise, he goes, the best thing you could do is network marketing. And he just highly recommends it in his book, and he talks a lot about it. And he's a man who creates millionaires. This is a very smart industry to be in. It's a very positive industry, and the more you're around it, the more you're going to understand that it does produce the most millionaires next to professional sports. And we've met a lot of those millionaires. Our company has a lot of those millionaires. I know that might sound really big right now when you're starting for Ruby. Or when you're starting, you're like, I want $500 a month, and she's talking about millionaires. I just want you to know, I want you to have the confidence in the industry. I want you to have that confidence when you're talking about it to other people and they say, oh, you're doing that? Yeah, and proud of it. And I love it. And I've helped so many women. I'm going to help so many people, you know, like, and you know what, maybe you won't have anybody negative, but if you do, just know that there's a lot of very educated people who highly recommend this industry. And a little bit about the company, our CEO, make sure you follow him on Facebook, Mark Pentecost. Him and his family are just a beautiful family. Their children are involved in the business, and that's what you want to look for in a network marketing company. You want the children to be involved. So as the CEO, you know, does it, everyone retires eventually, it gets passed down into family hands and just it's so precious to them as well, and that gets taken very well care of, very good care of. So we have that in our company. We are a debt-free company. We actually went debt-free, almost 10 years ago when other people's economy was crashing. Our company went debt-free. We have a CEO who, he used to work in the field, and he was top 10 in his company. So he knows what we're going through. When he knows how to help us, and he knows how to help us in a way that's going to help us because he's done our job, and he did very, very well in the industry, so he knows how to coach us. One other thing I wanted to say about that was he really stays ahead of the curve, and the reason is the company he worked for before, if I'm not mistaken, was long distance phone plans. And so when his company when that started to go out of style because all these cell phones started to come out, right, and all these different plans, his company actually, not his company, but the company he was working for went under because they would not get with the times. And he said, you know what, I'm not going to join another company as a distributor. I'm going to own one, and I'm not making that mistake. I'm staying ahead of the curve. And that's why we were one of the first companies, if not the first, to truly launch a huge keto line and to have that keto coffee that we could not keep on the shelves, and our weight loss pill, the TFX, that still we had like sells out. So that's why our CEO is always ahead of everything, and it's been amazing for our company. It's been amazing for our paycheck. So again, when someone says, why did you join that company? There's a lot of good in our company and in our company's name.
That's so good. One thing I just wrote here, you mentioned that we had gone debt-free in 2009. An interesting fact is, the recession was in 2008. So our company's already been through a recession and came out on the other end debt free. And you guys, being a part of a debt free company, just to touch on like why this is so important, is because it's family owned and because it's debt free, this means we have more money to play with, which equals more commission for the people that are producing, which equals more ability to go global faster, release new products. Like there's a reason that you're going to see our company continue to release, because we have the funds to do that. We're not in a spot where when times are tough, like they're, you know, that someone's saying, oh, let's sell, like that's happening in other places. Ours is family owned, debt free. These are very important. One more thing I want to touch is like, you know, what like an umbrella of this industry, and kind of to simplify it for some people that may be brand new. So I want you guys to compare network marketing to a store, like a storefront brand. Let's say Nike. Okay, so let's compare it to Nike. Nike's a $1 billion company. It's been around for a long time. You know, and every single year, Nike has a budget that has to go into things like marketing, advertising, storefront, employees to ring through the product, commercials, celebrities to endorse the product, flyers, all like this. I mean, advertising is one of the biggest expenses for a company. And so all network marketing is a company that instead of putting that big budget into that type of advertising, they say, you know what, we're not going to do that. And instead of putting our products in stores, instead of putting flyers out and newspaper articles and commercials and all these things, we're going to put it into regular people through word of mouth. And so I want you to compare this network marketing industry similar to something like Uber. Okay, think about taxi company that hires people to drive the taxis. Uber is a company that just independently distributes the job, meaning that people are going to come in, some people are going to drive a lot of cars and, you know, make money. And some people are just going to say they work for Uber and they're never going to drive and they're never going to make money. This industry, you get to take it into your own hands. April and I will be the first to tell you, and I think you'll see that we build in a lot of ways similar, other ways different, but one thing that we have in common is we hustle. If you can hustle, you will make money in this industry. If you do not, you will not. Like that's, I'm not trying to come across as like harsh. It's just like, know that it's in your power right now. And just like Uber, you can decide how many car rides you're going to take. You can decide how serious of a business you want to treat this. And, you know, with word of mouth advertising, with the way that this is kind of built, just like, you know, Amazon taking over Walmart, right? Like direct to consumer, it really comes down to you own your own online franchise. You know, obviously you can build face-to-face. I want to focus on, you know, building on social, but you own your own online franchise. So we're going to teach you how to grow your audience for your online franchise. So you're not just relying on your friends and family or people that live in a small town or anything like that. I'm quickly going to just answer a couple of these questions. We see why lots of negative MLM comments. Okay, I'm just going to really quickly touch on that because, if that's okay, April, because, you know, I think it's a valuable concern, but I really want to put this in perspective for you. MLM is not a negative thing. I read this thing on, it was like a thing from Forbes, and it said like it was like, you know, I forget, it was like 17 or $174 billion. I forget the exact numbers that network marketing had brought in. And then it broke down per day what this is paying out to regular people, what network marketing last year paid out per day. And it's like, you know, people are going to have negative opinions about everything. You know, I think a lot of it comes from maybe they've had a bad experience with a rep, or they've, you know, at the end of the day, network marketing as an industry is not negative. It, just like April says, it produces the most millionaires outside of anything besides professional sports. If you're sharing your favorite Starbucks drink on your Facebook and talking about going to Starbucks, that's essentially network marketing, except you're not getting paid for it. So my advice through that is understand that if someone in your family or your friends doesn't support you or doesn't agree with it, that is okay. You will never have to force them to try these products or join your team. There are 7 billion people in the world. And in fact, you could never sell to somebody that you knew in your life and you could still have a thriving business. Just like April said, she had a small network, I had a small network. We didn't reach to be top earners in this company through the people that we knew. So I want you guys to know that as you go on. And unless this person is ever going to be offering to pay your bills, I wouldn't worry about it. You know, like I was scared of negativity when I started too, but I realized like for every negative person that has an opinion about it, there's like 10 people that are cheering you on. This industry, like, we want to see you win, you know? So as you come in, you're going to be surrounded by people that are positive and all going after a common goal. and you're just going to learn to not even worry about the people that have an opinion. Okay. So do you want me to start with the first goal and then we can go back and forth? That's good. Okay. So let's just quickly talk about your first goal in this business. If you're new and you've been in for like under 2 months, throw it in the comments and let us know that you're new. So your first goal in this business, you guys, is to sign 6 loyal customers in your first 30 days. Now, in case you're not sure what a loyal customer is, I'm going to go over the 2 types of customers that our company has. Okay. So when you go on your website, you look at the products, you're going to see that each product has 2 prices, a retail price and a loyal customer price. So no matter what country you're in, no matter what product you're looking at, it's going to have a retail price and a loyal customer price. These are the 2 types of customers that our company has. Okay. So retail is when somebody buys something one time, full price, no discount. They walk in, they walk out, they buy it. Okay. Retail, that's retail. The other option is loyal customer. 99% of the people that you sign are going to become loyal customers, and I'll explain why. Number one, you save 40% on the product as a loyal customer. So you actually get to, loyal customers actually pay the same that we pay as distributors, 40% off the retail price. A loyal customer agrees to try at least 1 product a month for 3 months to get that 40% discount. Now, some people are thinking, well, how, like, are people going to want to try the products for 3 months? Absolutely. Our products are results-based. If people are looking to lose weight, clear their skin, have more energy, grow their hair out, you know, people want to use, like, just like if you were going into a tanning bed, you would tan more than once, you brush your teeth more than once. This is a process, and people want to save. People want that 40%. Our loyal customer program is very flexible, meaning people can switch up products. If they need to skip a month, it's flexible that way. They can, you know, call in customer service and they have a month grace period. They just agree to try any product for 3 months. There's no minimum order. And after that 3 months, that customer gets to keep that 40% discount for life. And so, you know, that's creating residual income because they're able to log in and you're getting the commission as they continue to order. They're getting access to our whole entire store of incredible plant-based products that people see results with. And you guys, when you get these first 6 customers in your first 30 days, you're going to get $150 in product credit in your account. So $150 American, about 200 Canadian. That's on top of the commission you're earning that whole time. Okay. So I want you guys to think, as soon as you get these 6 customers, that's either inventory for you to use and get results and build your business, or all of our products come in sample forms. I'm just trying to see, normally I have like all these, like all of our products come in sample forms, meaning that you can spend that credit to buy some samples and flip them for cash. So that's the first goal. Is there anything you want to add to that, April, like just on getting those first 6?
Sorry, I was muted. If you're wondering how to get your first 6 loyal customers, are we going to get into that now? Can I talk about host to host a little bit? Okay, so when I sign a distributor, so if you're mine, you know we did this. We do a one-on-one Zoom right away. And the only thing we really talk about is host to host. So that's the first thing you need to learn. And if it takes you a month to master it or 2 months, that's fine. Because you could take yourself all the way to diamond with host to host. Picture this. We used to, old school networkers, we used to have to ask someone to please host a party, give up our evening and theirs, hopefully some friends show up, just so we could get into their network and maybe somebody will buy something. Now what we do on social media, we basically host a party on social media, we get into everyone's network. So what we do is we go to you're gonna pick 10 people. If you're new, write down 10 people that you know you could say the wrong thing to and they're still gonna love you. Like 10 people, your mom, your sister, your cousin, your aunt. You're not asking them to buy anything, so don't get scared. You're gonna go to these 10 people and you're gonna say, hey, I just started with something new. I'm teaching you host to host right now. It'll just take 1 minute. Hey, I just started something new. I'm so excited about it. Maybe a little tiny blip about why you joined. I'm not gonna ask you to buy anything, but I was just wondering if you'd be open to sharing a small post for me just to get the word out to start my business. They're gonna say yes because they love you, right? And if they don't, it's okay. We can go to other people, no big deal. But you know, I know even with my small circle, I still had 3 or 4 people that would have shared a post for me. When they say yes, if you're gonna share a post, you're gonna send them a post to share. It's just gonna say, thank you so much. This is the post below. The posts are all written up already. I always get my new distributors to post the mermaid challenge, the mermaid hat. It's amazing. They've all been getting all their customers from it. If you don't know what that is, I can send it to Jackie. She can share it in her team page. My team pages have it. And the thing is, that person is going to post for you. And instead of having to go to their house and do a party, all their friends right then on that simple post that took you 3 minutes to ask and send, their friends are gonna comment. You're gonna friend them all. One, you grew your network. Two, you have potential customers. And you friended people who are interested already. It's like the perfect target market. It's the smartest way to network in the world. So you definitely need to learn host to post. And that's what I tell my new distributors. If for the month of March, all we learn is how to go from getting someone to host a post to sealing that deal off that host to post. That's fine, because that literally can take you all the way there. Because once in a while, somebody you sign as a customer is going to love the product and they're going to sign up as a distributor. Now you're signing distributors. Or someone that you ask to host a post for you, maybe your sister posts for you and she gets 22 comments. You're going to go to your sister and say, you should just join me and make the commissions. Now you have a distributor. So host to post has so many avenues, as long as you're always looking to, get as much out of that as you can, and we'll teach you all that along the way. But host to post, if you don't know what that is, message your enroller, search your team page. There's tons of videos. It's just the one thing you need to learn, and you'll get your shopping spree, no problem.
Yeah, that's so good. And one thing I want to add to that, you guys, is whenever you're like host to post, you can't see the effects on it for you can, you're going to sign customers right away. But what I'm trying to say is you can't sometimes see the magic that happens from it unless you're consistent with it. So let me give you an example. I come to April and I say, hey, April, I'm new into business. I'm just really excited. Would you mind sharing a post for me to help me get started? Now, April posted, maybe I sent her a coffee post. So it says, my friend Jackie's looking for some people to try discount coffee. Comment below if you're interested. April has a couple friends that comment. Let's say I add one of those people as a friend. I talk to them about the coffee. I reach out, and again, I message your upline for these scripts because we have the wording for you that you can use as like a skeleton and tweak it until you get your own. But now let's say I talk to one of her friends about the coffee. I add her as a friend. That's growing my network. And maybe she doesn't buy the coffee right away. But through my consistency and all the other avenues in this business, which we'll go over, now, say 4 months, say 3 months, 4 months, 5 months down the road, this person that you've added from host to post is actually interested in the business, and I know April can say the same thing. I can't tell you how many people I have signed where it's been like the 6 degrees of separation. A person signed, it was like a person to person to person to person, and this person signed. And it took 2 months of that consistency. But when you all of a sudden, it's like a spider web going out. Like you start here, and with your consistency, all of these lines kind of connect. And this is where, the magic happens, is through consistency and really everything that we're doing. One tip I want to give you guys too, that will help you so much if you're new. I just want you guys to write this video down because it changed the game for me. There's a video called Sealing the Deal by Jade Hooper on YouTube. And it's about, if you just type in sealing the deal, okay? So this is about 20 minutes long, and it's going to go over exactly how you are going to talk to potential customers. I use it to this day. It basically will ensure that you're not saying too much, coming across as like really salesy, anything like that. It allows you to remain in control of the conversation. But yeah, that's a really good video. The mermaid challenge, this is just an example of our hair, skin, nail, like host to post idea. So essentially somebody would be using their hair, skin, nails for 90 days or whatever. And hold on, I'm just trying to stealing the deal, Jade Hooper. And it's just another name for it. It's just the hair, skin, nail supplement. Okay, another avenue for getting these first 6. So host to post, again, April, what would you say, like for a new distributor, how many host to post a day would you have your goal to be get up?
Depends how fast they want to get it. The first day I always say 3 to 5 because you've got to ease in a little bit. If I'm going for a promotion, I go for 5 to 10 a day. What's your number?
Yeah, I would say it depends what you're going for, but 5 to 10 kind of at a minimum. And again, working for results, right? So if you're sending out 50 messages for host to post that nobody has posted for you, at that point, we're gonna pivot, right? You're gonna reach out to your upline. We're gonna see if we need to switch the wording, if we need to grow our network. And keep in mind too, as you're building, have grace with yourself. If you're not seeing these results right away, your mindset should always be, if the person next to me can do it, so can you. We have access to that same 7 billion people on social media, you know? So, okay, another tip for you to get your first 6 customers, we know that we're posting. So choose 3 to 4 products, I'd say 3 to 5, 3 to 5 products that you're gonna focus on. For me, I'm always talking about the coffee, the cleanse, the hair, skin, nails, the Thermofy X, and the greens. I'm talking about the greens hardcore right now. If you talk about every single product that we have, your network is going to be overwhelmed. You need to remain consistent through what you're talking about. So go and choose a couple products, learn about them. You don't need to know everything about them, but get a good overview idea. I think in both of our team pages, we have resources for you guys to have quick access to this. But start posting about these products, and I don't want you guys to feel like you're being annoying by being consistent. So many people's objections when they start is like, well, I'm going to post today, but I didn't get anybody that commented or liked on my post. So I don't want to post again tomorrow, because if my network is going to know that I have this, like, they're going to let me know if they're interested. Just keep in mind that no one is going to let you know. Like, it is your job to be consistent with it. Social media is not showing every single post. So on a day-to-day basis, you want to be posting about these products. For me, minimum 1 a day on my timeline, but throughout the day in my stories on Facebook and Instagram, I'm talking about these same products that I'm posting about. Now, one more tip I'm going to give you, whatever you're posting about, so if you choose your couple products, make sure that you're hosting a post about one of those products too, because I'm going to show you how full circle this is. If you're talking about, if you're doing a host to post for the cleanse, let's say, now, April posts about me for the cleanse, and everybody else that I'm doing is posting me for the cleanse. I'm adding their network with people who are commenting on that host to post about the cleanse. I know that I'm growing my network with people that are interested in the cleanse. So making sure that I incorporate that into my story, into my timeline, it is watering the seed that I have planted with these people, and this is what grows the plant. Think about growing a plant, right? You don't just plant a seed and then have a flower the next day. The last thing that grows on the tree is the fruit. And so you have to realize that this is truly planting and harvesting always. I know for April and I, we can both say we are always planting, which allows our harvest to be consistent. Meaning that if we're enrolling people, if we enrolled 3 customers today, we're still planting. If our customers tell us on Friday they're going to sign up, we're not counting on that. We're continuing to plant, so we continue to harvest. And yeah. Okay, so that's kind of what I wanted to say to that. Do we want to talk about kind of the next goal? So let's say we have our first 6 customers, then what are we doing?
Then you want to start signing distributors and teaching them how to get their 6, right? So signing distributors, you want to talk a little bit about that? Want me to start? Okay, so what you're going to find in this business is that there's so many ways to assign distributors, and that's great. The more creative you are, the more we're going to love you. We love creativity. Do what works for you. We're all different, but we will give you some ways that have worked for us. So first thing you can do is you can go and ask anybody who hosted a post for you and just say, hey, I don't know if you need money right now. I know there's a lot going on and a lot of people do. I just wanted to mention that I should write out a message so this is better. But basically what I would say is I just wanted to let you know that, how you shared a post for me last month or last week, that's essentially all I do. I work through referrals. Would income from social media interest you? That's one way that you can sign distributors, is just follow up with people. I actually have a message for follow up with post to post. It's a little smoother than that, but you guys get the idea. To go to the people who posted for you and you say, hey, did you know that's all I do? Would you be interested? Another way to do it is, like I mentioned, you do it immediately. When they post for you, when someone posts for me and they get 10 to 20 comments, I always go to them. I love all the messages in the chats. Yeah, there's so many options. I always go to them if they get, quite a few comments, even 5 to 10. And I say, hey, you have so much interest in this, getting posts shared is all I do. Would you be interested in joining me? And you can make the commission. I think Lauren Berryman says, hey girl, you have so many comments, you should join me and make the commission. Like just a short one. And that's how she signs all her DTs, is through post to post. So that's one way that works really, really well. Let's go back and forth. What's another way that you would recommend?
My brain does not handle like side things very well. Okay, so let's, for another way, so that's a good, going through the host post, you guys, for me, I'm talking about the opportunity every day. One thing I want to put in your minds right now is to understand how to write lifestyle posts. I definitely message for distributors, but mainly I get people through lifestyle posts that are watching me talk about this business. And so, you know, a lifestyle post is basically just like relating to people through your post that it was going to allow them to be attracted to what you do. And here's a couple tips I want to give you guys as you think about how to write these. For one, understanding that people are always thinking about themselves. People are selfish by nature. So your post needs to extract feelings from people. When you think about who you joined, did their posts make you feel some type of way that's made you emotional? Like for me, when I was watching the person that I signed with, you know, it, like when I read her post, I would feel what she was posting. She talked about her struggle. She talked about how she was able to make this money while she was being with her kids. And it gave me essentially a vision. And so when you're posting, you need to make sure that, you know, is this something that someone's going to find value in? Are you being, you know, like people relate through struggle, they don't relate through success. So even if you're new, you saying something like, you know, you guys, I've decided that today is the last day that I'm going to live my life like this. You know, I've been like, it's how, I mean, I don't think you should let all your skeletons out of the closet, but like, I'm going to give you how I posted when I started. You know, I would take a picture of me on my way to my serving job. And I would say, you know, I am so thankful I found this online opportunity. For too long, I've been working for, you know, 60 hours a week to always be broke. And it wasn't until I saw some girl making an income from her phone that it gave me hope that I could do this too. Because of this business, in the next couple months, I am going to be earning an extra $2,500 as a diamond. This is going to allow me to do X, Y, and Z. And pretty much like I'm going there whether or not you're coming with me. Like I was just so confident. I spoke so much vision over where I was going. And I want you guys to think too, like, people are sometimes like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be diamond. How can I talk about that? If you enrolled in university, you're not going to say, well, maybe I'm going to graduate in 4 years. You're graduating in 4 years. You need to be as sure as this, as if you were going through school, as if you knew you were going to go to the grocery store later. You need to cast vision so people want to follow you. Like people want to be involved with someone that knows where they're going. And so even if
you just gave me such a good, you're not sure, just real quick, you're not sure if you can do it, you're not sure if you're committed to doing it. That's what it is.
Yes. Oh, that's good. That's like a quote. Can you say that one more time?
What's that about though? That was like a joint thing there.
We're going to need to quote that later, but yeah, it's essentially just being consistent with it too. Like you need to share where you're going. You need to think about why you joined before this business, what made you feel like you need to join, what you found when you joined, but then more importantly, where you're going. This is the most key part, where you're going. You need to believe where you're going, and you need to cast that vision literally every single day. And so every day I'm talking about the opportunity, and I'm going to give you guys a tip if you're brand new. And I should have asked April if it was okay to say this, but like, this is truly how I got to where I am. I found people that were successful and I looked at how they were posting. Like if I know that somebody's signing distributors, I want to do what they're doing. Like I found people that I knew were killing it. Now let me give you a clue. You know, if when you go to Mark's page, Pam Sauter's page, the people that they're tagging in their posts, these are the people you want to follow. And you're going to find somebody that you relate with, and you're going to see how they post, and it's going to inspire you. And I honestly took their posts, changed it up to fit me until I got in the hang of it. I would rather copy the right cat than not move. So that's a tip that I have for signing distributors.
So good. So good. The other thing I'd add is just talk about every single little win. So when I think about when I started, like my first paycheck was $29. So it really bugs me when new distributors, and it bugs me because I know it's not true. They say, well, yeah, you can get distributors because you're making all this money. I started with no money and then a $29 paycheck. I paid my dues too. It's just one of those things where it's gratefulness. Gratefulness will shine through, and I was truly grateful to be on this journey, and I was celebrating every single little win. And I knew I was committed. I told myself that because I had quitted, because I had quit, sorry, I wasn't allowed to quit again for 90 days. I told myself you have to give it 90 days. So I knew I was just going to go all in with it. And I started celebrating that I got a paycheck and it covered a bag of groceries, or paid for a little bit of my gas, and I started talking about where I was going. I heard this from Caitlin Reddick, and I just love it. She's like, there might be 5 other girls, 10 other girls on your friend's social media that do a network marketing company, but if you are vulnerable enough and excited and willing to be ignorance on fire and just excited and say where you're going and be excited about where you're going, you're probably going to be the only one of those girls that's willing to put herself out there and post that. And that is attractive. Confidence is attractive. Excitement is attractive. Having a goal and a purpose is attractive. So few people know where they're going or are going anywhere. And I can say that because that was me. I didn't know what I was even up to before I found this business. I missed having a job. I was now a stay-at-home mom. I missed my goals. I missed all of that stuff, So be the girl who's willing to say where she's going, even if you're not there yet, because I bet you'll be the only girl on their social media that's willing to put herself out there. You're the one they're going to join. Even if they know the other girl more or longer, not saying to take someone's potential, but if they come to you, you're the girl they're going to join because you're willing to put yourself out there. And the other thing when Jackie was saying, you're scared to say you're going diamond. What if you don't get it? Well, Stephanie Dunn said this, and I just love it. She's like, if your boss told you in 3 months, you were gonna, so the diamond bonus right now is $15,000 American, $20,000 Canadian. So if there's a bunch of Canadians on here, say your boss came to you and said in 3 months, you're gonna get a $20,000 bonus. You wouldn't be hush-hush about that because it's not quite 3 months yet. You'd go and tell everybody, and you'd make sure that your production was up, and you'd be excited, and you'd work for that $20,000 bonus. This is no different. 3 months, 4 months from now, when you are, have been consistent, and then, consistency compounds, and it all starts to pay off, and you get this harvest, and you go diamond. You know what? That's not very far away. So say, I'm going after a $20,000 bonus. I'm getting it soon. I'm almost diamond. If you are committed and you're going for it, you are almost diamond. It's not that 3-4 months is not a very long time. I think it's honest to say that, as long as you're keeping your posts honest, but just have that excitement, put it out there. That goes right along with the lifestyle posts, and people will be drawn to you for distributors.
Something I want to add to that too, for signing distributors, and then I want to give a tip. I'm going to write this down because I can't forget. I'm going to lose my train of thought. Okay, so sharing where you're at is key. I remember someone told me this when I started my business. If you just joined and you have 0 people on your team, you are almost Ruby. You are 3 distributors away from being boxed for Ruby. Talk about Ruby. Talk about 500 a month. People think that 500 a month isn't power. Like, people think it has to be 10,000. No, so many people would just absolutely have 500 a month is life-changing. Like, I don't know how to say it. 500 a month is life-changing. Do not feel like you need to talk about a diamond paycheck to be successful. If you're just starting out, talk about Ruby. Talk about what 500 will do for you. Write a list of 20 things that $500 a month would do for your family and talk about that. And literally, you guys, if you're having a struggle with vision and creating this vision for yourself, I want you guys to write down these 2. I'm going to put them in the chats. This is something that's going to help you cast vision and understand, like, what you tell yourself you will get more of. The Secret on Netflix absolutely changed my business. It really shows you that, like, what you speak out, you will get more of. So if you're sitting there saying, I can't do this business, no one's ever going to join me, I'm not able to do this. Yes, ma'am. If you say, I'm going to go Ruby, I'm going to go diamond, I am making an income from my phone. Yes, ma'am, you will. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And The Secret is going to show you exactly how you need to be talking to yourself to get to where you want to go. The second thing is, let's just start it right now. The Strangest Secret. Every day for the next 30 days, I encourage you to listen to The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. Search this on YouTube. I don't know how to spell Nightingale, but it will probably come up when you search that. And he's like this old guy, and it sounds crazy, but listen to it for 30 days. One thing I've learned is success leaves clues. There's a black diamond in our company. Black diamond equals 100,000 US for 6 consecutive months who listen to this for every day for 30 days. If she's telling me to do that, I'm going to do it. You should do it too. Let's all do it together. We'll start tomorrow. Okay. In the morning. Next thing I want to say is people want to be a part of what other people are doing. So if you see April or myself or somebody on your team welcome a distributor to the team, share that on your timeline. People, you know, it's like nobody wants to be the first person to dance at a party, right? Like, you know, there's music on and nobody wants to be the first person to dance. Nobody wants to be the first one to step in. But when more and more people dance, people want to dance. And so when you show that you are moving forward in this business, people are joining the business. You don't have to lie. April Joy signs me as a distributor, and she says, I am so excited to welcome Jackie to the team. Why can't you say, I am so excited for Jackie to start this online business. She is going to generate an income from her phone, and I cannot wait to see how well she does. People are going to be like, wow, you know, it's growing, the people are doing it, and it's going to give them more confidence. One more tip I want to add on to that is share the actions that you're taking, even if you're not signing people. Like one of my favorite posts that I used to do when I started, every day I would do a post like this. I would hold a finger up and I would say, I am talking to, or like 2 fingers or 3 or whatever. I'm talking to 3 people on Instagram. I'm talking to 3 mamas that are talking to me about wanting to make an income from their phone. I cannot wait to help them do this. This income is so life-changing. I was saying that I was talking to people. Even if I wasn't signing them yet, I was saying, I am talking to people. People want to make money. And guys, here's the thing. The world is a crazy place right now. People want what we have. The Zoom stocks, the thing that we're on right now, went up over 51% overnight. Why? People want to work from their phone. Forbes magazine says in the next 5 years, 75 million people are going to start a business like this. You should be loud about what you got. The last thing I want to add on, sorry, I feel like I'm talking really fast. I hope you guys are following, is like as we're talking to distributors, as we're messaging for them, as we're talking to them, as we're posting for them and having those initial conversations, I want you guys to understand that the first time you talk to somebody, they're not always just going to join you the first time. It's something like 80% of sales, not just in network marketing, across the board, like 80% of sales are closed after at least the 8th contact. And so you need to remember that as you are bringing these people in to your network, you're talking to them, you guys, a no is just not right now. It is not a no. Do not work this business based on your emotions. Do not get your panties in a bunch because you're like, I've talked to these people and they're not joining. It truly takes consistency. And I know that if somebody is interested in making money, if somebody has told you they want to make money and they ghosted you after you told them it was $99, these people want to make money until they make money. And so it's your job to be the person that is in front of them every day, not spamming them, but being consistent in your message. Consistency reaffirms your message, and you just have to do a better job. Not you're not doing a good job, but that's what I think in my mind. If I have not given somebody enough value to know that their $99 is best spent with me, because I'm going to coach them and show them and they know I'm serious because I'm here, it's just my job to do more of the things to bring them in so they're like, okay, I trust her. You know, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And so just keep that in mind, that, you know, write people down if they tell you they're interested. Follow up with them, and do not be emotional when they tell you no the first time. Like, again, I was no for 3 years. April almost quit. Like, it will take consistency. Put in the chat how long you had to watch the person that you joined for, and also put a 1 in the comment if you did not know the person you joined with before you started this business. And you're going to see a lot of 1s, and I want you guys to know that this, if they are willing to sign with a random person, you have every single thing that is
so good,
right? Okay, let's go on to the next thing here. So we've talked about, do we want to go into like any more into Ruby? What do you want to go into Ruby anymore, or?
We could just cover it real quick. If you want to go on your document library, and I know that a lot of you are like, I don't want to read a document. It's really easy. Just click document, switch to all countries, and type in the word chart. It'll say diamond charting, and we'll just click on Ruby. You can print it. This is a Ruby chart. I'll just show that to you guys real quick. You see my screen? That's a Ruby chart. So it's 3 people. It's 3 people, and we just gave you so many ideas of how to get those 3 people. It will take some time, but you're building a residual income. You're building a business that's going to keep giving and keep growing. It's worth it. It's worth it to take that time to build. If it happens fast, awesome. If it doesn't, that's okay. Cami Pentecost, it took her, she's a black diamond in our company. It took her 6 months to sign her first distributor, and she still hit, I think one of her highest checks was 249,000 American in 1 month, which is like $1 million. You know, so where else are you going to make 250 grand in a month? It's okay if it takes you some time to get your business off the ground. It's okay. I know we like nowadays a lot of people have a microwave mindset for success, but if you want to build something right, build it strong that's gonna last. It might take you a couple weeks to a month to 6 weeks to sign that first distributor, and that's totally okay. As long as you're doing the actions, it's gonna come. So I mean that's Ruby. There are a lot of really good simple YouTubes on Ruby. So to go more in depth on it, like the charting, I don't think we have time on here, but definitely print off your Ruby chart. What I did was I got out a pencil and I started writing in everybody that I thought would join me, everybody I had talked to, everyone who I wanted to work with, my dream team. And those are the first people I asked. And as they joined me or as someone finally said yes, I used a pen and I wrote them in permanently. And I had their names like all down the side of the chart. So really print it out because visualizing it, writing their names down is going to make it more real. You're going to follow up more intentionally because you have their names on paper. So as far as Ruby, you definitely want to, watch a YouTube that's more focused on the charting of Ruby, but that's the basics. Did you want to talk more about that?
So I just threw in the chat, you guys, there's a link. You can save this in your notes. It's a video of how to go Ruby, and this is from the #1 income earner, Steph and Joel. So while you're there, make sure you follow them on YouTube. They have great training videos, great posts on social media. Again, success leaves clues. If this video doesn't click, watch it again. I want you guys to understand Ruby, make this your goal. And the interesting thing about Ruby is it's actually the foundation for every single rank in our company, meaning if you can get to Ruby and then understand it and teach it, I mean, it only takes 3 rubies to go diamond. Diamond is the license to print money. It's about $2,500 a month average American. So understanding Ruby, if you can go Ruby, you can hit any single rank in the company, all the way up to black diamond. And so this is definitely something that you want to learn. And before we go on to the next thing, I just want to say, be intentional with learning this, because just like anything in this business, if you just throw it to the wall and sees what sticks, it's not going to stick. You got to be intentional. You got to get it. You got to have a plan. You got to have a roadmap to get to your destination. So please make that a priority. If you haven't, understand it. It'll make it just so much easier. Okay, so we're halfway through our hour projected here. So unless there's anything else you want to add, April, why don't we just go right into like what to be doing every day on social media? We'll kind of go over the core 5. Okay, I feel like we're just going through this. Okay, so let's write down the 5. These I mean, April may have a different thing, but I have 5 things I do every day on social media. The compound of all of these things together is what will grow your business. As we talk about these, understand that if you do one of them, it does not work without the other. Do them all together. This is what will grow your business. So let's talk about posting. Okay, so maybe we'll just go kind of back and forth. We'll spend a couple minutes on each thing. So posting every single day. Where do we post? I mean, if you're going for Ruby Diamond above, use both platforms. If you're not sure about Instagram, I mean, my tip is go figure out how to use Instagram, right? Fail forward. Success is going from like failure to things you don't know to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Figure it out. Figure out Instagram. It's a gold mine of people. Figure out Facebook, post on the news feed every single day, and I post on my stories. Now, what do I post every day? I'm posting about the business every day. I do not miss a day. I'm posting about the product every day. And it doesn't always have to be this long, drawn out thing. Like, it could literally be a picture of me drinking my coffee and saying, I am so thankful that I found a coffee that burns fat, keeps me focused during these crazy times. If you love coffee and you're looking to lose weight, make sure you message me for, info and a discount spot. That can be a product post. So I'm talking about the business, I'm talking about the product, and I'm talking about just anything else besides the business. If you're looking at your timeline and it's all it works, chances are people aren't engaging with you as much as they would if you were incorporating your life into this business. Like, people aren't going to buy from the business, they're going to buy from you. And you as a business owner on social media, building your business on social, you want to incorporate some of you, because people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And so talk about your kids, talk about your goals, talk about your family, talk about, what you had for dinner, share value outside of the business. Is there anything that you want to add about posting?
I think that was really good.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Well, let's go into, so.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. the second thing that I would, so we're posting every day. The second part is messaging. So maybe we can just share some of the ways or who we're reaching out to.
Sure. So for messaging, I always just say you have to have a lot of conversations. So I do about 80% of my business in my inbox. It's conversations. That's what this comes down to, because it's a business of people and you have to talk to them, not have to, get to. But so if I do post on my wall, but I always tell my team if I'm posting less, I'm working more, because I'm talking to so many people that I'm forgetting to post. And so then I usually just go live. So I'm like, crap. But I have always worked 80% of my business in my messenger. And now, because we have host to post, I went ambassador without host to post. That was hard. Now that we have host to post, I ask everybody to host a post. Generally what I do is what I just did. You can go look on my wall. I did a post about our team. We're giving back $200 to 8 families April 1st to help with everything going on, want in. So if I'm sitting down to do a power hour, or I know in a couple hours I'm doing a power hour, you're new. A power hour is when you sit and work for one focused hour. You don't do anything else. So if I know that, 1:30 my kids are napping, I'm going to qualify that hour. I'm going to work hard. Early in the morning, I'll put up a post that's going to draw people in. A post for me.
Sorry, let me listen.
So then when I sit down to do my power hour, the first thing I do is I message all the people and ask them to post for me. And that's how I get my host to post up now, because I've grown my network to the point where I have enough friends that are going to comment, because all the people that were I found through host to post last month are now commenting on this month, so it's always new people. So that's the first thing I would do for messaging, is I would message for host to post. The other two things I do to get distributors, now this, I know you guys are brand new, but maybe some of you are in a couple weeks and this will be helpful. I do message in the evening who views my story if I am caught up on my host to post. I will message who viewed my story, especially if it was, actually, that doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what I posted in my story. Anything. It can be a funny mom meme. And I'll just say, I'll ask them if they're interested in the business. I'll use one of the messages from the chat. And then this message took me ambassadors. So I remember there was a point where I needed like 60 distributors for ambassador. And I was like, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. I'm going to go for it. And then, of course, my team pitched in and we all brought in distributors. But I sat down every single night like clockwork. I had Darcy. He was really little. He rocked in the rocking chair with me. And I sat there every night and I messaged every single person who liked every single photo. And I intentionally all day would post pictures of Darcy. He's really fat, cute baby. Or I'd post a hilarious mom meme. Or I'd post something that I knew would get interaction and likes. Nothing really to do with business. And every single night I would sit there and I'd message every single person who liked that photo. And I would say, hey girl, thanks so much for the love on my post. I always appreciate the support. Sometimes I take that line out, but generally I put in, I love the support. Are you interested in what I do? The message is like this long. It's tiny. I found out later Jay Hoover does almost the exact same thing. And that was just my message. And you know what? Nobody was rude to me. I'm pretty sure I can honestly say nobody, maybe one person. I don't even think so. Nobody was rude to me, because the people who are liking your non-it works posts are the ones who are interested, but they're just too scared to like your it works post right now, because maybe they're just not sure if they're ready and they're going to wait another 6 months. Maybe someone else is going to ask them in those 6 months. Maybe somebody will say something that'll make them nervous. They're going to wait another 6 months and maybe reach out to you. You cut off 6 months of waiting time if you just reach out and ask. So that's something with messages that I have often put into my power hour. One of my things I do daily is just messaging who likes all my photos and intentionally posting non-it works so they like it and I know who's following me.
That's so good. One more tip I'll give for messaging is kind of similar but a little bit different. So anytime I do a product or a lifestyle post, so lifestyle or product, or I do a story on Instagram, I'm basically reaching out to anybody that viewed it, liked it, or interacted with it, and I'm going to give you exactly what I say. So I'm going to go, like, part of my morning task that I do for my business is I go to every post from the day before and every story that I put up that had to do with the business or the product. Let's say if I put up a post that said, really simple, really pretty hair, and I said, I'm looking for a couple girls that are looking to grow their hair. I have a rapid hair growth supplement. Like, let's say it's a vague post like that. I'm screenshotting my post. I'm screenshotting the actual picture and the wording, and I'm going to everybody that liked it, and I'm saying, hey, thank you so much for the love on my post. I don't know if this interests you or not, but I got a discount spot open for our rapid hair growth system or our fat burning coffee, or I've got a spot open where I'm helping somebody make an income from their phone. Key sentence to close it, are you interested in the info? And I say this to people because I don't want them to feel like if they say yes, I'm like, okay, great, give me your credit card. I'm looking to get leads. I'm looking to get people that are interested. There is no pressure. If you want to get a hair supplement today or in 3 months is your time, that's okay. Like I'm gonna need business all those times. And so when I say, are you interested in the info, now I've opened that conversation to have a lead, right? They're saying, yes, they want the info. I give them the following the Sealing the Deal script, which you guys are going to watch, and that's going to change the game for you. Sealing the Deal, Jade Hooper, search it if you haven't written that down yet. And I'm just creating these lists of people that are interested. How I keep these people organized in my phone, or you can get a notebook, and I just write like April Jennings dash PLC dash like potential loyal customer dash hair skin nails, or April Jennings dash PDT, potential distributor. And I'm just building myself what we call a hundreds list. It can be a 200 list if you want it. It's just a list. And this is going to be your follow-up. This is going to be who you're reaching out to. So if someone viewed my story, same thing. Hey, thank you so much for viewing my story. I don't know if this interests you, but I got a discount spot open for somebody that wants to grow their hair. Would you like the info? Right? Same idea. We're generating leads. Okay, so we're talking about messaging. We're done talking about messaging. I'm like, where are we again? We're done talking about messaging. The next thing that I do every day is growing our network. Did you want to share maybe one of the ways that you do it, or some of the ways that you are growing your network on social media?
I feel like this is more of a you thing. Jackie is amazing at social media. I completely grow my network now through post to post. So, and live videos that get shared, right? And posts that go viral or go get 50, 60, 70 shares. And then someone starts following you through that. I interact a lot with local mom groups. Sometimes people find me that way. But Jackie, you're the queen of this. You should talk about this.
Okay, let's do it. So growing your network is essential in this business. Facebook, Instagram. If I want you guys to, okay, this is the description, the visual that made it click for my little brain. That doesn't take in a lot. So this is a representation of everybody that you know in your life right now. Everybody on Facebook, on Instagram, everyone in your text message, your Twitter account that you never, can you see this? I don't know if you can see this. This is a representation, this square, of everybody that you know, okay? Now, out of every single person that you know in your life, ever since you were a baby, you know, not everybody's going to join your team. Okay. I'm going to just tell you right now, not everybody's going to join your team. That is okay. Not everybody's going to buy from you, but a percentage of people is, and this box here represents the people that are. And so what you need to understand is some of those people will do it when you start. Some of those people will join you 6 months later. Some of them will join you 4 years later. And so we can't wait for these people to be successful. So if we want to grow our income, we got to say thank you next to all these people, because that's okay. But there's 7 billion people out there. This is my visual. This is like literally what made me understand this little drawing right here. So take a screenshot if you want. I'm just joking. But these are all the people that are going to be who you grow your network with. And so this is what I want you guys to think about. When you're on Facebook and you're on Instagram, find people who are going to be similar to you. People are going to relate to you through your posts. And so this is what we call our pillars, our 5 pillars. You maybe hear it talked about. Who are you? For me, I'm a mom. I like food. I like my 2 dogs that I have. They're okay. They're, you know, and I have these things that make me unique. I like to travel. Maybe you are really strict on keto. Maybe you have twin kids. Maybe you're a boy mom, a girl mom. Maybe you're from a small town. Maybe you're from a big town. Maybe you're a trucker's wife. Maybe you used to work in a certain industry. There are people that are like you on social media. And so I just grew my network with people that I knew were going to relate to me. So, you know, mom groups, that's like the first thing people kind of think of, is go into a mom group and just start interacting with people. I don't go into a mom group and talk about my business because you will get eaten alive, but I go in there and I interact with people. And if I have a question, you know, if I want to know what kind of dog food people are feeding their bulldogs, I'm going to make a point to go into my groups that I've added myself in on Facebook and just say, hey, here are my dogs. What kind of food are you guys feeding your dogs? And then they're going to respond, and I'm just going to add people. I follow people. I grow my network every day through following and friending new people. How many a day? Well, I'm not going to sit and do 400 because Facebook's going to block you, but I'm very much going to do, you know, set an alarm. Do 15 people that you're going to add on Facebook 3 times a day. Follow 50 people at a time on Instagram 3 times a day. Set the alarms. Search by hashtag, search by location. Guys, this is like, it is limitless. You can literally go to Google and be like, okay, I'm a mom and I want to grow my network with other moms, and I'm going to choose Texas to grow in. And so I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to type in baby boutique in Texas, right? Baby boutique in Texas, find a boutique on Google, type it into Facebook, and you're gonna friend and follow the people that like the page, that like some of the pictures on there. That means that they're probably a mom because they're following a small boutique in Texas. They probably live in Texas. You're being intentional. You're growing your network with people that are in locations that we do business. It's all about being intentional. One more thing I'm going to say to add to this is create content that is worth sharing, or steal content that is worth sharing. I'll give you an example. There is a post that went around, like that went super viral on Facebook whenever the prince is going to move to Canada. And it was like, can you imagine looking in your wallet every time you were in Canada and looking on the $20 bill and just seeing your grandma was pissed at you? And it was like being shared so much. I don't share those things. I copy it and I took a picture of my own $20 bill, and then people were sharing my content, right? If you like to cook with the Instant Pot or something, or a slow cooker, do a live video. And yes, you're going to be scared of the first time you do it. It's okay. Do a live video on your timeline, add yourself into a bunch of Instant Pot groups, and then share your video in those groups. Like, that's how people are going to find your page. You guys, you have 5,000 friends capacity on Facebook, but you can have unlimited followers. And so find your niche or your niche. I don't know how to say that word. If you homeschool your kids, there are other people that homeschool their kids. Get connected with them. Read a book on your Facebook. Just do anything to basically put yourself in front of people. Expand your network that way. But day by day, be following new people. Add new people. And if someone says, "How do I know you?" I personally, maybe you want to share what you say, April, because it could be different, but I just say, "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to add you." I'm just like, I'm just like, I don't do the whole, like, I'm just growing my network. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My thumb must have, like, I just thought you were so cool looking and my thumb must have hit it. Like, and then sometimes they're like, she's weird. Or sometimes they add me back. But I just do that every day. And you guys, it grows as you do it. So
That's fantastic. I'm going to start. I just say, what is it? I haven't memorized most moments, so I'm not put on the spot. It's, hey girl, I'm just always looking to grow my friends and make more mommy friends. If you keep your social media more private, no worries. Have a great Tuesday with a lot of emojis or Wednesday. And they're never rude back. Like, because I'm like, no worries. And you just put the control back in their hands because it is, right? A lot of times they end up adding me because they're curious and they forget to unfriend me and then they fall in love.
Yes. Just pretty much be a good person, and they'll just, if you're nice, they'll be nice back. And if they're not, they have to deal with themselves, There's so many nice people in the world. Okay, so before we go into the last thing, I would say just give yourself a goal. Look at your Facebook and Instagram followers. Say by the end of the month, you want to increase those I would say a safe bet. You could probably increase your Facebook by 50 people by the end of the month. Accepted friend requests. That means you're going to have to friend more than 50 because they're not all going to add you back probably. And give yourself a number for those Instagram as well too. I have a video more in depth. We won't spend too much time on this, but if you guys search on YouTube, Jackie Deering Grow Network, I have like a 11-minute video that I screen share and I show you how I go into groups and all that. So if you have more questions, I just put that in the comments. And I guess the last thing is just follow up. I mean, let's just quickly touch on follow up and maybe why it's important.
Yeah, I mean, it's because, like she said, 80% of sales are made after the 8th follow-up. So a lot of people in our business do follow-ups on Fridays. Just have a system. You're going to find your groove with this. You probably are loving all the information, but at the same time feel a little anxious because you feel overwhelmed. Take a breath. It's going to take you time to learn all this. It took me 70 days to learn all this, and I'm still glad I did. I'm glad I put in those 70 days. So follow up Friday is a really good option. say how many people you're going to follow up with. So like, for example, when I sit down to do a power hour, like I mentioned, I write down 6 things that I'm going to do in that hour. And one of them is usually follow up with 10 people or follow up with 20 people. I write down a number. I end up going past it usually. I usually don't write down a huge number because sometimes you don't feel like doing your power hour, but motion creates emotion. Once you get started, you're going to keep going. So just write down simple things, make yourself get started, and you'll just keep going because it'll feel good. It's like you say you're going to walk for 2 minutes. Once you get on the treadmill, you put the music on, you're like, ah, I'll do 20. Just get yourself going. So anyways, follow up, you definitely want to follow up with people. The simplest way I know how to follow up is, one, have a hundreds list. So have a piece of paper where you write down people. A hundreds list is literally that simple. You just write down people. You can put a number beside their name if you want to, but write down people. So one way to follow up is just to be very organized and have that list. Some days I'll interact. I'll say I'm going to interact with 20 of these people, they're potential distributors. Some days I'll directly message them and say, hey, I was just wondering if you're still interested in making income. I really would love to work with you and I wanted to check back with you. There's so many different follow-up messages. And then the other way that I like to follow up for customers, well, there's 2 ways. I like to go and check my old host to post, see if I missed anybody, follow up with people, drop a really good before and after photo of whatever the host to post was about. If I want 1 customer that day, I'll say I have 1 spot left because I know that's what I want that day. And then I also, my gosh, I keep losing it. I search a word in my messenger. So you can just search the word cleanse. Say you do tons of cleanse host to posts. You go to messenger and you search the word like you'd search someone's name. And then after you type it in, you actually have to go and click search messages below. I thought they took that feature away, but I just did it the other day, so no, it's still there. I search the word biotin because that's in my message and I follow up with people, or for hair, skin, nails, or cleanse, or coffee, or whatever. One night I just sat there and like, April, you're going to follow up until your phone dies. And I did. And I didn't know. I got so many follow-ups done. Like, just set a little silly goal. But follow-up is key because otherwise you're not going to seal the deal if you're not willing to follow up. Professionals follow up. Don't feel bad about it, have confidence. Dentists, I had dentists follow up with me so many times I got annoyed and told them to stop calling me. Dentists follow up, lawyers follow up, realtors follow up like nobody's business. I'm still getting emails from houses on the island 4 years ago. So no shame, follow up. Looking for professional, you're going to want to sign it because you're the person that's
Yeah, no, that's so true. And again, taking your emotions out of it, like, I think this is the biggest thing. We get emotional when people say no or not right now. And that kind of brings me into the last one I want to talk about. We can maybe take a couple questions to keep us under the hour. But the last thing I wanted to talk about that you should absolutely be implementing into your everyday is growing your mind. Okay, growing your, like, staying close to the fire. So a couple things that I do for this, when I started, it was YouTube. When I was building to Ruby, Diamond, like I was on YouTube. If I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was watching a couple videos a day. And I wasn't just like watching YouTube doesn't make you money. Implementing what you learn does. But while I was cooking, while I was driving, while I was like, doing my makeup, I think we're all home now. So we, plug yourself into YouTube, wake up early, find a top leader that you relate with, seek out what you are feeling like you're lacking. So if you're like, man, I can sign customers, I just cannot get these distributors, go find a distributor, ask your upline who's somebody that enrolls distributor, actually ask for a few, and then go to their YouTube and type in, April Jennings, distributor. She's going to have some on her YouTube. Find a leader, search their YouTube, how to talk to them, how to post for them, how to follow up with them. Write your notes down, apply these, stay close to the fire. You guys, I used to go through funks in my business, or like times where I doubted myself, and I would come across a top leader video that talked about, are you in a funk? This is normal, and you're gonna get through this. And I had nobody's gonna be in your ear doing that, unless you're like on something like this or you have someone that you're connected with. But chances are, for the most part, it's just you and yourself and your mind. So you got to keep your mind right, and that's going to be by feeding it what it needs. And whatever you feed your mind, you're going to get more of. Negativity, you're going to get it. Positivity, focused, intention, discipline, you're going to get the results you want. So stay plugged into YouTube. Don't get sucked in. Don't think that you're working just because you're watching YouTube. Learn it, intention, apply it. As I grew in my business, I started seeking outside resources, audiobooks, I used to just type, I mean, I don't know, I used to, I do this like all the time. I type in the word motivation and I have some Tony Robbins dude yelling in my face, telling me why I can't give up. Like this stuff is going to fire you up. So stay plugged in. Your mind, like the biggest I truly think the biggest thing we have to overcome in this business is the story that we convince ourselves as to why we aren't good enough. And here's the thing, you're not, like most people aren't trained or designed to think like an entrepreneur. Like, don't you think it's crazy that the school systems never teach us about taxes or how to save money or how to be an entrepreneur? They teach us to kind of just go in the direction of like whatever, you know? So you got to grow this muscle in your own mind. Like it's up to you. And so stay fired up, and you have to stay close to the fire. You have to stay close to the fire. And so that's all I got.
Yeah, personal development. I think we're actually closer to an hour and a half. I just realized that because we started at 8:30 or 7.
Oh my gosh, I thought we started at 8. Oh, sorry.
I'll be 2 minutes, we'll be done. Personal development is everything. I prioritize that over everything else. I mean, yeah, you got to work your business, but if you are doing personal development, you will work your business because you're going to be a motivated individual who wants more out of life. So, they go hand in hand. My new distributors, a lot of times I gift them books on Audible. You absolutely have to listen to GoPro if you're on my team because you need to follow up like a professional. You need to understand the industry, the value of the industry. It's a very short book, and it's going to give you such confidence. GoPro, first book, it's like $6. It's worth it. The next book that I tell people to listen to is You Are Badass, or You Are Badass at Making Money. It doesn't really matter to me which one you listen to. They actually have similar things in both books. You Are a Badass because you need to realize that one thing that she really talks about in there is that everybody else is just doing their own thing. It has nothing to do with you. If somebody is rude to you, it has nothing to do with you. You're just a mirror to them. You show them something that they don't like in themselves, and they don't know why they don't like that in you. But when they grow up and become self-aware, they're going to realize they just truly don't like it in themselves. So it's just really helped me as a distributor unshoulder everything about everyone else. And it just gives you a lot of confidence. You Are a Badass is an amazing, amazing book. The first 10 minutes, I was like, this is not for me. And I almost shut it off. But then I kept listening because I wasn't done cooking yet, so I just left it playing. And then I'm like, oh, that was pretty awesome. When I finished it, and it was amazing. The other one you need to listen to is Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Like, guys, just get these in. If you're driving for an hour, press play. If you download it on Audible, it's downloaded. You don't need data to listen to it. If you're doing laundry, I started wearing cardigans that only had pockets so that I could listen to it while I did my laundry, while I cleaned my house, while I walked around. So I had no excuse. I just started filling my mind, and it was crazy, the shift I felt in my business. It was ridiculous. The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind is amazing. It's an amazing book. And then the last one I would say, actually, make this the third one, make Secrets of the Millionaire Mind the fourth one. The third one is 3 Feet from Gold. It's going to tell you why you're not going to quit. It's amazing. I couldn't stop listening to it. It's in story form, so it's very easy. And then Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. There's so many more, but those are my 4. Those are my 4 that I get people to listen to. And then, you just go from there. But personal development is everything. Network marketing is a paid self-development course. The more you learn and grow, the more you're going to earn. So every day, do something where you're growing, either your mindset or your skill set. Better yet, grow both. But you're going to find that you're very, very productive in your business if you're willing to get coachable and learn. I think that's it.
Right. I put all those books in the comment as April was talking. I'm so sorry. I totally thought we started at 8. I just lost a half an hour. I'm so sorry. But I hope this helped you guys. Maybe before we hop off, take a picture for your social. Talk about how you just hopped off a training, where you're going. Start today. Let's take a picture real quick. I'm gonna take one too, so we can send it. I'm gonna send it in to everybody. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go through 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There's nobody's face on these, but I'm gonna take a picture anyway. Okay, guys, we will put this up on YouTube. Thank you so much for coming and plugging into this. We really appreciate it, and I hope you guys learned something. So we'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks, April.
Oh, my pleasure. Bye, guys.